Alright, I think we're good to go. Just mic and everything. Mic looks good. Action doesn't. On Twitch, or where is it? Okay. It'll be okay for the moment. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna do this run. No resetting and no safeties. No safety saving. No needles. Take whatever we get from the puzzle. Let's give it 2 tries. Up to 2 tries. And we'll see what happens. 3, 2, 1, go. Nope. Where are you? And a lot more time than I needed to setting that up. An ambush. Hey Shane, welcome in. Go. A remedy, not what I wanted. And a turbo ether, not what I needed either. Alright, we roll with it. May as well do that while I'm poisoned. 50 high rolls. Yes, she does. That should be enough right here. Bye-bye, Needles. We'll see you on another run. Ooh, that's a nasty spot to do that. That's just to make sure that fight. Don't mean to keep fleeing with her, I just keep not switching it in time. so close to being important. Let me see if I can maybe get away with that. I would have preferred that on the warrior, but let's see if I can make that work on the thief. I don't think it's going to work on him, but if he gained a level, it might work. I'm not trying to fight anything unless I do this. Or that. Much. Right. Not really that plan, but whatever. Less. Alright, well, whatever. Oh, we can do that. Maybe not. Not really any worse off, just wasted time. If he had gone before the Pisca Demon, I could have potentially salvaged that. I don't know if he would have gained a level. My warrior did, so maybe he would have. If he had, that would have been enough. I can still do it here. Unless that runs. Alright then, no safety. I don't think there's anything like poison on this floor. Maybe ogres? Maybe ochre jellies. I don't know if they're on this floor or not. It doesn't really matter at this point. It would only work if they poison one of the two specific characters I need with enough HP. That probably wouldn't matter. Alright, so we're just going in, no safety. I could do that, I don't know, maybe I suppose I could do that. Let's just do that, it's a safety then, in case... Oh, don't need it. Okay. Have to see if we can get through Ice Cave safely or not. think I'm one tile high. I'm on the wrong character. That's the wrong character. This is a mess up. That was not ideal. Completely messed that up. Could be ideal. depends on if I can get away from these brutes. Oh, what is that? Come on. That's just a terrible crit. Is that even gonna kill it? What a terrible crit that was. Well, at this point, 41. That was some nonsense. I don't think he's in great shape to survive Thundara either, but we'll see. See if we get lucky on that. Attack. Actually, I don't need Thunder. Never mind. Let's forget about that. Level 8. I have to check their level when I was in the menu. They are 12. Ella is 13. $14. 15. I believe that was 16. Still be 16 on Ella. Be 17 on. Should be the last one. Yep. Oh, I didn't realize I had a chain messed up on. Oh. And ribbon off. Alright, that should get me to the end. The real danger is if I run Mount Gog and don't heal. That or Chaos Shrine, White Dragons. Not all that can really kill me at this point. I suppose some of the fiends could kill me. Really unfortunate situations, but... Oh, come on. The same stretch? Alright, should be good to the end. Only Tiamat, Warmack, or a really unlucky group of enemies in the Chaos Shrine could kill me. Oh, come on. What the hell? Like the third run in a row where that dude has been in my way. Suppose I could have switched my commands there, but it really doesn't matter that much. Alright, let's finish this one out. First I gotta rest. him. Oh. I think my black mage is in for a rough ride. Let's go. The thief got a nice HP boost at least from all these levels. I might not need to use a tonic on him. A remedy? I didn't know they dropped remedies. Some quite beefy characters, which is nice. If only my Black Mage had kept up. Almost forgot. I wonder if he's got enough intelligence now. There's no reason to think so. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Away. Away. I guess I can take a gamble here because I'm not going to get a better shot. You can high potion him. You're going to Phoenix. A double haste him because he got slowed. Already on his spell cycle, interesting. sitting on Kiraja, which is a disaster. As long as he doesn't Kiraja, I'm in good shape here. Deep in danger zone. Gonna put everybody. Gonna put more people in danger zone than I realized. Yourselves alive. Very dangerous for her, but I should be okay at this point. Please just don't Kiraja. That was a gamble. Had to get that black mage up because it was so early in the fight that he went down. Especially since he eventually slow-rolled the warrior. That was going to be a complete disaster. And he went right up to Fendaga very quickly. Which meant he was sitting on Kiraja. At any point he could have cast that, which would have restored half of his max HP again. It usually adds like a minute and a half to the fight to have to chew through that again. That was exciting. A little dangerous, but exciting. I think I'm going to take a quick 2-minute break, and I'm going to come back and probably do one more run. Try to get one more run done. If it dies, it'll die. Not much I can do about that if it dies. I'm just choosing to play risky tonight, without being overly aggressive on resetting. Thank you for the GGs. I'll be right back. Alright, we go again. No. I think I'll probably have to plug in the battery at some point. Alright, go again. 3, 2, 1, go. That certainly could have gone better, but corrected it pretty quickly. I had a solid chance of this. I had a very good first menu, a questionable second menu. I got 2 very quick encounters just before Garland, which was slowing me down. Now I just got 2 on the way here, which is slowing me down even further. Kind of slowing me more than I would like. Bosses? What? No. All risk is all it is. I was watching this morning for a little bit. I wish I could sit still and play for 6 hours. Or more, like you could. He also has a propensity to start much earlier in the day than I would. Like, I think he started at probably like a 6:30 a.m. or something his time. Which is not a time you would find me streaming, normally. A remedy is what I'm looking for. And a Hermes shoe. Okay. Maybe I can find a use for the Hermes shoes, but probably not the remedy. Alright, that should be enough experience. In case I get shortchanged on. Let's kill him, whatever. No, you don't. That's wrong entirely. This is not ideal. My commands are a mess right now. Warrior's on defend. Keep is on staff. Black Mage is on items, but the wrong item. The white mage is on defend. Not helpful. If I do that in my head, means I gotta scroll down to, I gotta hold X for the warrior because he's on defend already. I gotta hold X for him because he's fine. He's on the right command for Discos. I've got to hold X to get into the item menu for the black mage and then make sure I'm on the judgment staff. Means I gotta scroll up because he's on hammer right now, which does nothing. And my white mage is on defend, which is one above or he should be on judgment staff already once I get back to that. At least I sincerely hope so. I do have to heal first. Or number 3. Hold X until the black mage. And of course I got a third demon, so it didn't matter what my experience was. Oh, triggered glitchless. What was it? I raided Mainstun the other night. I think it's the first time I've raided him, and I was listening in, and I guess I watched him before, but I don't think I've ever realized that he only likes to play glitchless games, which is kind of a cool thing. It's a neat little shtick. I don't know. I like glitchless runs. I like watching glitchless runs. I like 100% runs, especially. At least in terms of watching things. Any percent is interesting to me until it becomes like something like a Souls game where they're just cheating the engine's geometry or something, and then I just don't care for that. It's interesting once to me, and then that's it. You get to see what they're doing, and then after that I don't particularly care to see them like optimize it further. If I'm watching 100% runs, I like to watch more very talented overall runners. I play games that I like to watch. A big one that I love to watch was Super Metroid. I was big on watching Zoast and them. One of the best runners of that for a long time. He's still one of the best runners. Nobody died, so I don't have to do anything here. Everybody got plenty of experience. That's not an issue. Anytime you guys want to run. Please. I'm safely behind the pace of the last run. Most of that is due to those extra sea encounters I took. And these wolf encounters that are not letting me run are not helping. I mean, things I would like to see on this run. Let's see. I didn't get an exit. One thing I want to see on this run that I have not seen on my last 3 runs. The NPC, the top corner of Lufenia, when I'm trying to exit, not get in the way of that exit. I don't have to backtrack all the way to the entrance that I came in from. It's like 3 runs in a row that I can think of where that NPC has been in position to block that little exit area. This one I would like to see go my way. I can kill this, but I would much rather you just run. It's already the 4th encounter I've killed now. More than enough for experience. Really don't need. For not to make a massive mess of some of these glitch menus like I did last time. I think most of them are okay. The one that was really bad was the one in Crescent. Kind of flubbed that for no real reason. Oops. We skipped all the safeties last time, we're skipping them all this time. That means no needles from here. No safety saving in any of the spots I would say for the relay. Including before Lich. I almost had a setup that might have worked for Lich. With somebody poisoned, but it was the wrong character. He died before I got there, so that didn't really work out. Then he didn't Blizzara, so it didn't matter. We got a Mind Flayer ambush that killed two guys off, killed the two melee characters off in Ice Cave. But the only danger was that I was running with only two characters for a while. Which is what you want for experience, but it's very dangerous to run with only two characters in there. In case of very poor encounters. Oh. I played the puzzle twice in the last run, didn't get anything. I played the puzzle twice in this run, didn't get anything. Yeah, pretty good pace to start the last run, though. It's kind of funny that I start cutting out all the safeties and all of a sudden my time starts dropping to a much more characteristic time. I still get nervous when I'm doing things like running through the entirety of Mount Gog without healing. Ice Cave always makes me nervous, but oh, let's put the sword on. Thank you. If only I could get an exit. Feed me off. That would be swell. Not happen this run, though. Alright, get me in there, come on. You're almost there. Knock it off with the encounters, give. Alright. The encounter rate drops on this floor. There's a longer floor. I hate when that bat baits me. How did that bat go? Went way up from where he was. Pre-vampire. Usually not blocking that opening there at the very end of that floor. Little unfortunate, that movement. For those who I don't quite remember where I was. One thing I'm trying to do usually when I get into encounter during the transition is I mentally just like look at the screen while it's in the middle of transitioning and try to remember which way I need to continue my movements after the battle's over. Like for that last battle, I could see that like I was in the middle of moving north along that corridor while the transition was happening, knowing I had for the next 3 steps I would have to just go straight north. I know I have to go left here and then north 2 steps. I'm basically trying to remember like the next 3 steps I need to take. So I can like start buffering the inputs while the end of combat is going on. No safety here, so we're just gonna go in and pray for the best. May have to throw. May want to cast Fire Arrow with the Black Mage just to make sure I don't shortchange this. I don't think I'm going to shortchange because I've taken extra fights. But let's do that. Face. Don't need it. Okay, that's fine. I'm mostly just hoping Lips doesn't Blizzara, and honestly, that's entirely up to him if he does it or not. If he wants to, there's really nothing I can do about it, unless I have a character with a large amount of HP, max HP, poisoned. That's not a guaranteed circumstance that can happen. I mean, one thing I can do as a safety is if someone is poisoned, while I'm running towards Lich, I can like top them off with potions, make sure that they're at max health entering the Lich fight, so that if Lich does do Blizzara, they can tank it and survive. And then the poison will knock them back down during the run to Ice Cave, that they die off. The only character that consistently is likely to get poisoned and have enough HP is the warrior. Another character could potentially survive that, like my white mage in the previous run had a ton of HP and probably could have survived as a backup. My warrior also had a ton of HP. Doesn't have he actually has quite a lot in this one, but he didn't get poisoned, so. Sort of a backup in case of you don't want to save. It's not a guaranteed backup. More of just a circumstantial backup. The ultimate goal is I want to get my warrior and thief killed off by the time I reach Evil Eye in Ice Cave. Evil Eye can kill them off if they're not already dead. But if they happen to die on the way, that can speed things up. But every character that's dead reduces the number of characters I can use to flee from combat, so that can be a little dangerous, especially in Ice Cave. Oh, this is a poison. He's going to die anyway, so there's no point in healing it. Want him to die off in between now and the time I reach Evil Eye. I don't need him alive for this section. Alright, let's do this menu a little bit better than last time. It's not the right... I don't know why that was messing that up so much. Why are you messing that up so much? Actually, you gotta do... I'm missing this stuff, unfortunately. Blackguard, and Blackguard. It was messy because it just wasn't going off. Trying to glitch under the thief for some reason. Don't really know why. Unfortunately, it was wasting a lot of time. Alright, keep the warrior poisoned. You can't go below 1 HP from poison out of combat. In combat, he can die from poison. Or an enemy can hit him. If I get ambushed, he's guaranteed to die. The end of the combat round. I want the warrior and I want the thief killed off, so that I can experience grind the mages on evil eye. Specifically want to get them to level 17, and then I will take one additional fight against Evil Eye. And after that, I'm hoping that they get enough experience between that point and the point where I want them to buy spells, which is after I go through Sea Shrine and Waterfall Cavern. I want them to reach level 19 by that point, so that I can go to Melmond and to Elfheim to spell shop for them. But if they're not 19 at that point, I can't buy the spells because the shopkeepers literally won't sell it to them unless they are level 19. That's a guaranteed. Warrior's gonna die off even if he dodges these attacks. Battery is now showing. Oops, that's wrong. I'm gonna plug my console. Finally running out of battery. I gotta be very careful with these cockatrices. I also want the thief to die. If he doesn't die before I get to Evil Eye can cast Thundara and kill him off. Okay. This is kind of a dangerous situation, so I'm just going to cast Fire and kill these guys, so that I'm not at the mercy of 9 enemies trying to paralyze me. It can easily put me in a very bad situation. Dark Wizards can very easily also put me in a very bad situation if they ambush me. But in most other situations, they're not particularly dangerous. Don't tend to be too difficult to run from. The White Mage is loaded up on agility gear to help her run away. As long as she's able to run, she should be in great shape to run away. Once again, preemptive Dark Wizards, not terribly dangerous to me. Ambush Dark Wizards, on the other hand, are very, very dangerous and would probably end my run. This guy could end my run with a very... depending on what he does, but it's only one of them. They don't tend to be too difficult to run from, so if I survive their attacks, I'm in pretty good shape. They do have an on-hit KO effect, though. Not guaranteed, but nasty effects, though. Keep those guys healthy so I can survive a Thundara here. Yeah, sorry. What I wanted to do is Thundara, hopefully not kill the Black Mage. Good, he didn't kill the Black Mage. Black Mage survives. I can grind. Guessing they're 13 or 12. Usually around level 12 at this point, so I have to take. I'm gonna repeat this fight by walking back and forth on this tile. We're gaining about roughly a level per fight at this point, so I'm level 13 there. This should be level 14. All these fights may not level me though, so it's usually 15. So now I'm 15. This may or may not level me. 16, this one usually does not level. I'm on some 16. And one more fight's going to give me 17. I'm going to take one fight after reaching 17 for both. That generally should guarantee that I get enough experience from this point up until I finish. Put the wrong button there. Here, I'll ether her. We revive and heal everyone. I ether the White Mage while I'm in the menu at the same time, since it's just one section over. She's not going to be doing anything with her mana until I get her heal aura. It's going to be after I go spell shopping. I could also ether the Black Mage. And getting confused about which commands my guys were last on. The memory cursor remembers where they last were. When they die earlier than before I reach a Evil Eye, I don't know where their commands are necessarily. Unless I'm paying very close attention. I was not in this game. Alright, so my mages are 17 and most of the way to level 18. They might have reached 18 that extra piston unit that I had to take because that group was unrunnable. I was kind of fumbling around to get the commands right to get them killed quickly with Thundara. Not planning to fight anything from this point forward unless it is an unrunnable encounter that I have to kill. And the only real grind I'm intending to do on this route for my mages at Eagle Eye, I usually have to do between 7 and 9 fights, depending on what level they reach when they reach there. It could be like anywhere between like level 10 and 12. Usually they'll reach it, at the very least they should reach 11 on the first required fight. And at that point I need usually at least 7 or 8 fights to get more. Pick up some high potions while I'm here because it's the least out of the way shop. Also moves that NPC back to his default position, which guarantees he's not in the way of the path I have to take back here. I need the high potions for the final fight against Chaos. Trying to heal with normal potions doesn't do enough to waste their turns in combat. But I need some supplemental healing in case I get really bad luck against Chaos, which is much more common on this route than it used to be. Previous routes that were safer. This route is definitely not as safe on Chaos, but it is considerably faster because I'm picking up the rat tail from Citadel of Ordeals. Citadel of Trials, is it? The Trials or Ordeals in this one, I don't remember. Might be Trials. Please don't be the unrunnable, that's okay. Not the unrunnable group. 2 unrunnable formations I can get on the overworld there. I can get in Ice Gigas Winterwolf combo, or I can get Ogre Mage, Hellhound. I don't want to see either of those because I have to stop and kill them if I do. In here, there's 3 groups of enemies I'm looking to avoid. I want to avoid ghosts, groups of Sahagins, which usually is Sahagin chiefs and Sahagin princes. And I want to avoid water elementals. Might spawn by themselves, or with a water naga. If they're with a water naga, I can run away from them. If they're not with a water naga, I have to stop and kill them. Really don't want to see the water elementals though. That is the one group I have the least amount of setup in my party to kill them with. The ghosts I can kill with Fyra. The Haggins I can kill with Thundara. And if I had a Blizzard, an Ice leading spell, I could potentially use that because they're against water elementals because their use are weak to ice, but unfortunately my intelligence is not high enough in my characteristic. Only real option to kill those groups is using a Judgment Stone. Which will assuredly kill them, but it's a very long animation. These ghosts. This is not what I want to see. But I do need some experience, but it's not the worst thing if I get some of these unrunnable groups here. Gotta watch my Black Mage's MP. Make sure he doesn't run out, and I can re-ether him if he does. He already has more MP than or more max HP than the previous run did. That's a good sign for the long term. This group I can't kill except with Thundara. Thundara is a very short cast, especially compared to Judgment Staff. Save multiple seconds. It does use MP, so I have to just watch my MP totals. I have enough MP for one more cast of either Fyra or Thundara before we have to. Because both of them use 15 MP. is that water Naga, water elemental exception encounter I can run from that, but if I saw a water elemental, a group of them by themselves, either 1, 2, or a larger group, I'd have to stop and kill them. This is going to be the last one. I'm going to try to reach... I think I'm going to try to make it to the upcoming survival vest chest. I'm going to do light axe, just whatever. And I'm going to use the glitch, the light axe. See if I can get away with not having to ether until that point. Is a little risky in terms of... Okay, so we got away with that. Let's ether him now. Yes. Now we're gonna do this. Did I pick it up? Survival vest, survival vest, survival vest. Take it off. Glitch it from the thief back onto the warrior. Re-glitch it onto the thief. And we're gonna glitch it onto the black knight. That raised the intelligence of all of my, or raised the agility by glitching that gear. All of my characters except for the white mage. The only reason I didn't glitch the white mages is I don't have an easy way to glitch. I don't have a quick, easy way to glitch onto the white mage. He's gonna get different gear by the end. She's already got agility gear on, and the gear she's got on is efficient. It could be improved. That would require a slightly more involved glitching menu. Poison here is a little unusual. For that. I don't really need her to be poisoned. It's only really to my detriment at this point, because if a combat round ends, or if I get ambushed with poison on, then I'm going to be seeing, I'm going to lose some time. Do a little poison animation. I'm melee cracking with my 2 melee characters. Actually got enough damage in 1 round. A little uncommon. This Kraken has 1800. Not uncommon for one of the melee characters to under-roll and then make me attack at a second round. Probably about 30 minutes left. My least favorite part of the run is coming up, though. This waterfall cavern is such a pain in the ass to traverse without emergency exits. Didn't get an exit from the 15 puzzle minigame like I was hoping. It's these tight, windy corridors with these little bad NPCs that can get in your way and block your path. There's a very high encounter rate here, overall. The highest in the game, I think. one unrunnable formation of enemies. It's kind of rare to see, though. I'm unlikely to see them, but if I do see them, I do have to stop and kill them. These nightmares can be somewhat troublesome to run from at times. But the agility from the survival vest I put on everyone should hopefully help me get away from them. That's making me take 2 extra steps to get around them. This is a forced encounter tile here. A group of enemies that is unrunnable. Ah, go. Mean to go behind him, but okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Okay. Alright, the... That's an extra encounter I don't want. Wish I had an exit. This is the forced encounter again. I've got to walk out. Not gonna fight anything unless it's green dragons. Or a very problematic group of... Bat's about to move out of the way. Good. That bat is out of the way. Hopefully the other 2 bats remaining are out of the way. Exit's just around the corner. That's in the way. Alright. Okay. That is by far the most annoying dungeon in the game. Oops. Overshot that a little bit. Wait, I don't like how that blue hair NPC's coming. Coming to mug me. Push him out of the way. Go. Alright, I reached level 19, so my guys can spell shop without issue. There's one more spell I want for my black mage. Haste. And since Lazara is in the same shop and might come up as a valuable, might come in handy against a couple key encounters, I'll pick that up while I'm here. Lazara is not likely to be used on but it might come in handy once in a while. Goal here is to maximize the number of tiles with lava that I'm walking on. I can't get encounters while I'm walking on those tiles. I do not want encounters. Good thing I healed then. An ambush would have been really bad. Everybody should have been at 1 HP after running on all those tiles. Or close to 1 HP. Ooh! Unrunnable fire element. That's one of the few things that Lazara would have been useful for, but there's only one guy there and my commands are already on attacking, so I don't need to use Lazara there. A very rare encounter on this floor, though. Over this stretch, Lufenia, that's the closest parking spot. With the airship, I have to walk over to the town. Only groups of enemies that I cannot run from along this stretch are Minotaur zombies, or a Minotaur zombie and troll group. Black Mage can take care of those. That's fine. But slows me down having to stop and kill them if I see them. So hopefully we don't get those. The only thing I'm really hoping here in Lufenia is that this NPC that's up here in this corner right here not go over to and block that little exit corridor that I like to use. The last 3 runs he's been blocking it every time I get there. Not blocking it. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I don't know what this nonsense is. That's the first 2, literal, the first 2 steps out of the town are both encounters. That's a bunch of nonsense. Trying to get into this river because there's no unrunnables in the river. I switch encounter zones once I cross the river. No unrunnables after this. Once I'm on the west side of this little encounter zone switch. On the east side I can get those Minotaur zombie groups that slow me down. What's the last thing I fought? I'm trying to remember the last thing I fought, which I think was Kraken. I don't think I've fought anything since Kraken. No, Marilith. My mistake. Marilith was the last thing I fought. Same difference though. My command should be on attack for Marilith, just the same as they were for Kraken. What I want for the blue dragon here, which is unrunnable. This is a forced encounter. HP totals are a little bit low for this area, but I can do that. I'll haste here just to make sure I can finish this. I really shouldn't need to though. My black mage is the one most at risk on this fight. That's taking us not a lot of damage. One more should do it. Yep, that'll be enough. The biggest risk is the Tiamat's Thunderbolt. My black mage isn't wearing a ribbon like the other three characters. Reduces the damage they would take from elemental attacks like that. So the black mage would be certain to die if Tiamat casts on that opening round, but he didn't do it. He didn't do it. So the black mage gets to live, get the experience. Great. More experience the black mage can get, more likely she can get level ups and max HP boosts. It also saves me having to revive people if they die. Less time I have to spend in the menus, the better. And with combat, though, the less time I have to spend in combat, the better off. Alright, I'm not safety saving here, I'm just gonna run. These are the enemy groups I really want to avoid, though. You get away from the white dragons. They're runnable, but they're dangerous. If I fail to run, or if they ambush, there are a bunch of other enemies that I can't run from, which I can kill for experience. Not usually dangerous. This is one of them, though, unfortunately. So, where are you? Just, yeah. I don't have a great way to kill these green dragons. They're vulnerable to ice. I do have Blazara. The intelligence of my black mage at this point usually isn't enough to kill them in one go, so I use Flare instead, which is non-elemental damage. Shouldn't be any more green dragons after this point. I'm really worried about white dragons, ice gigas, winter wolf groups, and the earth elemental groups. All of which I have to stop and kill. There's also dragon zombies, I forgot about that. Unless they're with vampire wizards. Hit the floor with all the ice gigases. Now there's the white dragons on this floor, purple worms. Ice storm is I'm worried about. We'll probably heal, honestly, in case. At this point I'm just committed. So let's just go. Pac-Man is gonna die. Him. Yo, Knight, what's up? Welcome into the end. I hate this. This is the worst ambush. This is one of the worst ambushes in the game, just in terms of time loss. I can't petrify anyone other than the Black Mage, I don't think. They're very unlikely to petrify the Black Mage. The gaze animation, if they all do it, just wastes so much time. Thank you for the raid. To avoid, at this point I'm hoping to avoid ambushes by Earth Medusa enemies and Earth Elemental enemies. I have to stop and kill Earth Elementals if I see them. You have to heal before I get to this. No, I do have to heal. Oh, she's out of MP though. Okay. We have to heal before this fight against Lich, because otherwise I will not survive Flare if he does Flare. That's why we're going to haste him, in case he needs to survive Flare. Hopefully he does survive. Hopefully he didn't do it. So. And defend. I mean, I was always likely to get in. Very happy for Shane, though, because Shane's been working hard at it. I'm a little sad for Selma, the French runner that I know that is second place to me, or was second place to me in the standings. I'm guessing he's got other life things going on. I don't think Shane was expecting to play, but he's gonna play. He's actually gonna do pretty well, I think. Been improving pretty good. Mike, you're playing 6, right? No, I think it was Dying Dare, and I don't think it was. And yourself, right? Yeah. What I thought. I mean, Dare, I know Dare deserves some revenge for prior runs and getting screwed on them. I remember he was doing great, and then he just got completely stuck at some point and lost a lot of time. So he's going to get a nice run back for that. Stupid elemental groups. I would kill them with Blazara, but not guaranteed to kill them. Gotta use Flare. Me, Sonny, and Shane for one. I'm hoping I don't have any complications with that. I'm supposed to be out of town the weekend that the relay happens, so I'm playing from a remote location. It's not my home setup. I'm hoping there's no complications. I gotta heal. I did a test from that remote location, so I should be able to compete. I mean, if I can't compete, then Siri is an experienced runner. He can take my spot. I sincerely hope there's no problems, though. I'm trying to prepare for every scenario. Like losing power, or there's only wireless there, so I gotta get a wireless adapter. Alright, no more safety saving, we're just gonna finish this off. Heal, right? Ethan. We have enough already, so let's do this. We need a ribbon. We need a barbarian sword, then I'm gonna switch you. Crystal, crystal, crystal. Nope. The runs I've been doing tonight have been without any of the usual safeties I would take in a marathon. So, like, normally here, I would safety save before this fight. And I would have safety saved at the beginning of the Cash Shrine, too. And many other places, but I've just been skipping them tonight for the hell of it. What are we doing here? We are doing Giant's Tonic on him. Yep, we're doing that as well. Feast on him. I've been playing way over safer than most of my runs at this point. There's a very minor set of scenarios where I've actually needed to be all the safeties I've taken. Do that again, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna heal again. Okay. Heal him. Oh, there you go. Heal him. You heal him. Nice go. This would be a very risky run to do in a relay. What I've been doing. I have done many runs like this before, though. I know what to do in most situations. It doesn't guarantee that I would be able to survive everything, but Times have been better than previously. That makes me just generally happier. I don't like playing safe for this category. It's just optimized to this point where it just, every time I do that, it wastes so much time. It's also not a very long run, so I can get away with doing it. Let's do high on myself. High on myself. You're fine. So, if he does Cyclone here, that's going to do a lot of damage to my guys. That's the only risk here. Didn't do it. Did he land slow? Which character was it on? It was the warrior, okay. I gotta rehaste the warrior then. If I'd actually been paying attention, I would have realized which character he put it on. Alright, so haste, haste, haste the warrior again. Cyclone's fine, I'm ready for it now. If everyone's 300 plus HP, they're more than ready for this attack. Just fine. A little unusual, it would be more of a concern if everyone else wasn't already full HP, and if I wasn't already doing the fight. Poor Leo. Yeah, that was a run with absolutely no safeties and no saving, so I didn't pick up any gold needles to revive any guys. I didn't take any safety saves before any of the bosses or any of the dangerous dungeons like Ice Cave. I actually finished 2 runs tonight. I wasn't sure that I was going to do that, but pretty happy with that. I have just enough experience. I've been playing this enough over the past 10 years that I know generally how to respond to almost everything. The worst case that can happen is I get petrified somewhere, and I'm just not in a good spot to respond to it. It's usually the biggest danger, that, or I just get a terrible ambush somewhere like Ice Cave and get killed off before I can respond. Or Blizzard or Lich kills me in Earth Cave. He can certainly do that if he wants to. He was very merciful tonight. That's gonna do it for me. Where can we send you, folks? Looks like Cap's doing FF2. Anybody else doing anything? Cap is doing FF2. Looks like the target to me. Send you over to him. Doing some F2 relay practice. Go say hi. Thanks everybody for watching. I should be back with more resets as we ramp up to the relay starting August 21st. So until then, thanks for watching, and we'll see you then.